Session of Parliament ended today with both houses passing a record number of legislations. The session has seen a shift in the government's floor management strategy, with a more conciliatory tone being used to convince opposition parties to support important reform measures like the constitutional amendment on the GST. Here's the Monsoon Session's report card. The just concluded monsoon session will go down in history for being witness to the passage of the goods and services tax, breaking a decade-long deadlock. The government strategy was to isolate the principal opposition party, the Congress, on issues that it had raised on the reform measure and then negotiate a truce. Prime Minister Modi and Finance Minister Jaitley kept the back-channel dialogue active with other parties. The result, the GST-related constitutional amendment was passed without a single vote against it.
राज्यसभा में आम सहमति से, और केवल आम सहमति नहीं, 203 वोटों से 205 वोटों से वो जीएसटी पास हो गई.
While the GST bill was the highlight, this was overall a productive session. Even contentious issues like the Kashmir violence and the attack on Dalits didn't get in the way of doing business in both houses. Lok Sabha productivity stood at 110.8%, while Rajya Sabha productivity stood at 99.5%. As many as 14 bills were introduced in the Lok Sabha, while it passed 14 legislations. The upper house, where the government is low on numbers, was also not far behind. While one bill was introduced in the Rajya Sabha, it passed 14 legislations during the session. Both houses passed 15 bills, which are now all set to become statutory laws after presidential assent. Bills passed by both houses include the GST Constitutional Amendment Bill, Taxation Laws Amendment Bill, the Child Labour Prohibition and Regulation Amendment Bill, and the Enforcement of Security Interest and Recovery of Debt Laws Amendment Bill.
A light drizzle marks the end of the monsoon session of the parliament, but it remains to be seen if this process of dialogue and consensus that the government tried to achieve during this session is also continued during the winter session of the parliament, where the government plans to pass the CGST and the IGST bills. In New Delhi, Rituparna Bhuyan.